Next day, a new day with new hopes. Here everyone are in the university. As usual, Jin picked up the letter and went away. Hoosuk put the cookies box with a letter and went away. Jimin was dropped to class by Yoonji. Surprisingly, he didn't cause any trouble, causing Jimin's mood to be happy. K had an important assignment to submit, so he went away. He was a final year student, so he'll have a lot to complete. Also had complete his internship at Lily's company. He was attending university for his final project. So he gave Taehyung's responsibility to Yoonjin, Subin, and Jungkook. As a regular drama, Jungkook came in Taehyung's way, but this time, much bolder and stronger. It's like a ball bouncing back with same force you throw it. But Jungkook handled him whenever it was necessary. Yoonmin was also helping Jungkook with that. Also, Subin most of the times calms Taehyung, who was ready to punch Onwoo right in the face. At lunch today, K was not present. He went to Lily's company for internship, and here everyone was busy having lunch. Hoosuk observed the attempts of Namjin trying to talk to Jang, who only gives short replies to him. As he nosed in situation, he sighs loudly and looked at them again. He opened his mouth, but someone held his hand under the table. It was Suga. What? Hoosuk widened his eyes and looked at Suga, who shook his as no, indicating him to stay quiet. But why? Hoosuk whispered with a frown. Why do you want to disturb their talks? Suga asked. And Hoosuk didn't find it correct to tell him on the face that he thinks Namjin is trying to hit on his Jinny Hounji. So he kept quiet and resumed his eating, but he would look at them frequently, as if trying to keep an eye on them. Suga, watching all Hoosuk antics, sighed loudly. These friends even overprotective of each other more than any blood-related brothers. He thought in his mind, and looked at Jungkook, who was listening to Taehyung while the other was showing him something in his phone and talking continuously. Suga just sighed, and he also continued his eating. Who is this Hope? I need to find out. Who is that person with warm words and sweet cookies? I really love those, and well, actually started to like that person as well. A beautiful soul, he thought to himself, and sighed again. Hoosuk, after some time, realized that Suga held his hand under the table, and realized how he reacted. Well, the reaction is late, but now he is blushing slightly. His crush held his hand, but later he sighed sadly, thinking about something. It's not possible, Halby. Don't make your hopes high. They'll never let your dreams come true. They are already trying to destroy Jin Houng's life. Be careful, he thought in his mind, and went to his class after eating. Today there is no shine in the sunshine. Reason, Hugh asked his mother, just messaged him that they're gonna visit all of them for a day, this Sunday, that is tomorrow only. Not only him, but everyone was upset at that news. Jin was tensed and stressed as well, but he is not showing it. He was in bigger trouble when compared to anyone else. He knew that, and now if he broke down, then his brothers will not be able to face this world. So he stayed strong. As the day went on, Taehyung and Rimin as usual got detention. But today, their friends Byungye and Taehyung and Yoonjin and Subin weren't there. Well, they got some work. Can say, someone gave them leave from their work to have a freedom of going on a date with their lovers. Yoongi took Jimin with himself. They offered Taehyung to come with them, but he refused politely, because he doesn't want to interrupt lovebirds. He said he'll go to library and study with his Jin Hyun. But Yoongi no. Namjin is also in the library, sweet stalking Jin. If Taehyung knows, this will blow up. Hello. Kook, stop your wife from going to library. Jun is there, taking his sweet time, staring at Jin. Stop him, or everything will be spoiled. Jungi whispered in a tensed voice and sent a voicemail to Jungkook, who happened to receive it immediately, and ran towards Taehyung's direction. Damn, wifey, you are making me run behind you from now only, Jungkook muttered, while running at full speed. At the lockers, he met Taehyung, who was taking his books for study. "I Taehyung," he greeted, voice cold, but not rude, acting as if he was here to take something from locker. Taehyung was accustomed to his voice by now. He knows Jungkook is like that, a cold person, but at least he's not rude, and also he is his soon-to-be brother-in-law's best friend. Jungkook, Taehyung greeted normally while taking his things, ready to head to Library. Taehyung, Jungkook called out his name in urgency. Taehyung turned, looking at him questioningly. If you don't mind, I need your help," Jungkook asked, not at all looking at his eyes. He was looking down. "What is it, Jungkook? You look tense," Taehyung said while stepping forward to Jungkook. He took a deep breath and said, "Actually, I think I have sprained my leg muscle. I find it difficult to walk properly. I don't want to disturb hounds and make them worried. Will you please help me get to the clinic? I thought I had a relief spray in my locker, but it's not there," Jungkook asked coldly, in a requesting manner. Taehyung thought for a while and nodded his head. Yoonmin was busy with Jimin, and others also will get worried if they knew Jungkook sprained his muscle, so decided to help. He took Jungkook's hand and kept it on his shoulder and held Jungkook's waist to help him walk. Jungkook, as a part of continuing his acting, started to limp a little, trying not to put his whole weight on Taehyung. "Thank God, just got in time. But the way, what an idea, Kook. You should get an award for this level of acting. My soon-to-be wifey's hands are so soft. I have to keep him engaged till the end of this. Think something, Kook." Jungkook thought in his mind and acted along. As they reached the clinic, they saw there was no nurse. Usually there will no one here, as the university hours are completed. Taehyung made Jungkook sit on a bed and searched for a relief spray. Luckily he got that and came to Jungkook. Jungkook forwarded his hand to take that, but Taehyung didn't give him. "Taehyung, give me that. I need to spray that on my leg," he said, looking at Taehyung confusedly. He didn't get why Taehyung was not giving him the spray. What will I get in return?" Taehyung asked, with a mischievous glint in his eyes. This made Jungkook chuckle. "What do you want?" he asked Taehyung again. "A treat in a newly opened cave before Jinhoon, Habehoung and Chimmy can bite." Taehyung put forward his demand, making Jungkook chuckle a little at his soon-to-be wifey's childish demands. "What's so funny? Why are you laughing like that?" Taehyung asked, pouting and resting his hands on his hips. "Okay, deal. But why before your hounds can boy? You all can go together, right?" Jungkook asked, engaging Taehyung in a friendly conversation. "Well, that's a long story, you know. They all ate from a newly opened restaurant when we were in school. That day I was sick and didn't attend school. They went without telling me. One day they got caught, and from that day I wanted the same happen to them." Taehyung said, still the pout present on his lips just grew bigger, and now he also sat beside Jungkook on bed. Jungkook just shook his head. Taehyung is still a childlike soul that he admired. "Okay, now, today we'll go to that restaurant without telling your Hyungs and Jimin and eat there. What do you say?" Jungkook asked, looking at Taehyung. Taehyung's eyes sparkled with joy as he nodded his rapidly. He handed over the spray to Jungkook, but as Jungkook bent down to spray his leg, Taehyung noticed Jungkook's shirt was stained a little in red at his back. His eyes got bigger. "Jungkook," Taehyung stuttered, his eyes showing how worried he was. "What happened, Taehyung?" Jungkook asked as he heard the stutter. You are bleeding," Taehyung said, while pointing a finger at him. "Kook," Jungkook said, tilting his head in confusion. "Your back, there is blood on your shirt," Taehyung said with a worry. That's when it hit Jungkook. He was removing his racing suit off his body. He got a deep scratch from it. He didn't tell it to his hounds yet. They'll make a fuss of it. He just sighed. "Well, it seems like you shouldn't be telling this to them either. You know they'll tell my parents about it. Mom's gonna make a huge drama out of it and may admit me hospital for it. Please, Taehyung," Jungkook requested, looking at him, who just nodded his head. But what will you do with the injury? How will you clean it? Taehyung asked, looking worried. I'll manage it. You just wait outside for some time. I need to take off my shirt, Jungkook said, not looking at Taehyung's eyes. Well, he planned to act as if he needed the medic, and now he really needed one. Taehyung too nodded his head, but is not sure of Jungkook will be able to do that, but not wanting to step in his privacy, Taehyung went out with a small bouquet. Jungkook took off his shirt and started to clean the blood with a cotton ball, but he was unable to do it, and because of the stretching, the dried wound was now feeling like burning his skin. He hissed at that, but he still tried to reach the wound, causing it to bleed more. Taehyung, who was waiting outside, got curious of how would Jungkook actually reach his hand to a wound that is on his back, so he started to look at him from outside. He didn't close the door. Jungkook, unaware of the stare, continued his actions, causing it to bleed more. Taehyung just sighed at that. He knew it. So he thought to help Jungkook. Jungkook, Taehyung called him, who flinched at the call and looked at Taehyung with his slightly wider eyes. He turned towards Taehyung, who was looking at his front body, almost drooling over it. Jungkook smirked internally at that. He was proud of his body. Taehyung, I said you to wait outside. Jungkook spoke as he decided to snap Taehyung out of his drooling session. I am here to help you, Jungkook. You are making the wound to bleed more, Taehyung said. No, actually it's okay. I'll manage. Jungkook denied. No, Jungkook, this will never end if you do like that. Let me help you fastly, Taehyung said, taking the cotton from Jungkook's hand and not giving him a time to speak. When Taehyung went to his back, Jungkook just smirked. He feels like he is already married. Taehyung is a caring and kind-hearted person, and Jungkook feels lucky that he'll have him in the future. After bandaging the wound, Taehyung came to face Jungkook, who started to wear his shirt, but Taehyung stopped him. Your shirt is having blood stains. Do you have any other shirt with you? Taehyung asked him gently. He doesn't know from where he got that gentleness in his voice. I have a hoodie in my locker. I'll get that, Jungkook said while standing up, and Taehyung also stood up. Are you gonna come out like this? Taehyung asked, to which Jungkook shook his head. He wore his shirt and closed the buttons. I'll change at lockers. No one will see there. It's only a shirt, Jungkook said, shrugging his shoulders. He also observed how Taehyung's cheeks turning pink, looking at his body. What am I doing? He is my friend now. How can you think like that, Taehyung? You parrot. Staying with Chimmy had effect on me too. Taehyung screamed at himself internally and showed a blank face outside. After they reached the lockers, Jungkook changed his shirt, and then he offered Taehyung that he'll take him outside for dinner as well for hiding his two secrets. Taehyung was a happy cloud after that. He was literally floating in air, planning to eat dinner at his favorite restaurant. Jungkook, can we go to Amusement Park as well? Please, 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 Taehyung requested, and Jungkook agreed happily. He was happy that Taehyung trusted him enough to go out with him. Won't you inform your hounds? He asked Taehyung, who was waiting for Jungkook to take out his bike. Nope, I'll inform them when we'll head to Amusement Park, Taehyung said. Jungkook nodded his head, then Taehyung hopped on the back, and they drove away. Here behind the pillar, there was a shadow, looking at them with rage eyes, his fist hitting the pillar, causing his knuckles to bleed. On the other side of the parking, Sunwoo was looking at Taehyung and Jungkook with hatred and rage. He saw how Taehyung helped Jungkook, and Jungkook smirked at him while Taehyung was applying the cream and softly blowing in it. He saw Taehyung was clearly checking out Jungkook's body. He didn't understand why Jungkook was doing that, but he knew Jungkook also wanted Taehyung, and he won't let that happen. He followed them all the way till they disappear on the bike. He also followed them in his car hurriedly. As the night passed, Taehyung already informed Jin about going out with Jungkook. Jin was tensed, but Namjin assured him that Taehyung will be fine with Jungkook. I am not tensed about Taek. I know that brat will be fine. I am worried for Jungkook. I hope he doesn't make any trouble for Jungkook there, Jin said worriedly, and Namjin, Yoonmin, Suga looked at him in dumbfounded expression. Namjoon just nodded his head with a cold face, while Suga and Yoonmi also did the same. Yoonmi Hyun, call Jungkook time to time and keep a tab on him. I am sure Tae will make him roam whole Seoul City today till midnight, Jimin said to Yoongi, who slightly widened his eyes but didn't show it. Don't worry, kitten. Kook will be okay, Yoongi said, and they all bid their byes and went to their homes. We thought that they were worried about Taehyung. Turns out they are worried he might make trouble for Kook, Suga said and chuckled slightly while shaking his head. I also didn't expect Jin to say that out loud, Yoongi admitted, and Namjoon didn't have any words to say. He was still speechless. Here Taehyung's fun was in full swing, as Jungkook wasn't objecting him for anything. They went to amusement park. Taehyung almost took all the rides, dragging Jungkook along with him, with social media almost filled with the photos of his fun, the toys he won, and the ride he went. Jungkook, do you how to shoot? Taehyung asked Jungkook with puppy eyes, and Jungkook knew exactly what Taehyung wanted. He happened to see a big heart plushie in the shop, and he wanted that now. Do you want that plushie? Jungkook asked, pointing at the heart plushie that Taehyung was eyeing. Taehyung nodded his head like an excited kid. Yes, please. Do you know how to shoot? That Taehyung asked again, this time clutching Jungkook's hand in excitement. Come. Let's get that plushie, Jungkook said while walking towards the shop, while Taehyung was trailing behind like an excited kid. Yoonwoo saw both of them walking and talking together, especially Taehyung, who was laughing, giggling, whining, and whatnot with Jungkook. But Jungkook only found Taehyung adorable and cute doing those antics. After the amusement park, Jungkook took Taehyung to a famous restaurant. There he already booked a VIP section for themselves. Taehyung was amazed by Jungkook's quick actions and decisions. He was almost impressed by Jungkook and finds him as a perfect husband material. But Taehyung is not gonna say that out loud. Jungkook is doing all this for hiding his wounds from his hounds and his parents. So he is taking advantage of the situation without any regrets. Jungkook, I don't want to go home now, Taehyung said and pouted. But Jungkook raised his eyebrow in surprise. And why is that? Jungkook asked with a cold expression. Because Jinhoung and Khoung never allowed me for outing in the midnight street stalls. Can we go there? Please, just for once, please. Taehyung again started to show his puppy eyes, and who is Jungkook to refuse? He gladly accepted, and both went to park, shopping a little bit, and also enjoying the midnight stalls snacks in the midnight while buying gifts for their loved ones. Among all these happenings, Jungkook's eyes caught a stall that has a matching chains of a tiger and a bunny. He found it fascinating and bought those. Taehyung, this is for you, Jungkook said, forwarding a tiger pendant chain to Taehyung, who looked at Jungkook in surprise. This is not that bad and full of surprises. And Taehyung absolutely loves surprises. Taehyung took the chain with a happy smile, and also he gave Jungkook a bracelet with letter J, and he have letter T on his bracelet. Like this their shopping continued till midnight, and Jungkook dropped Taehyung at his home at nearly 3 o'clock. It was good that the next day was Sunday. They can sleep as much as they want. When they reached home, Jungkook personally dropped Taehyung to the doorstep as he was sleepy. He rang the bell, and Jin opened the door with an angry face. But after seeing Jungkook safe and sound, he calmed down. Jungkook, I am sorry that this brat caused so much trouble to you, Jin said, holding Taehyung, who was almost closing his eyes. No, Jinhyung, it's okay. We enjoyed a lot today. I didn't know we can enjoy at this time as well, Jungkook said with a chuckle, looking at the shopping bags. There were more than 10 shopping bags Jungkook, it's already 3 o'clock. Stay here for tonight. We can't take risk of you driving at this hour, Jin said with concern. And Jungkook, though he showed he can manage inside, he was happy to stay here. Okay, Haim, and thank you for allowing me to stay here, Jungkook said like a gentleman, causing Jin to smile at him. No problem, Jungkook. Come inside now, he said and moved with Taehyung. Yeah, you sleep ahead, go to your room and sleep. Jin made Taehyung stand up properly and jerked him by his shoulders. Taehyung just nodded his head. Jungkook, all the rooms are filled here. Today there are Bogumhyun and Wooshikhyun, Jin said while looking at Jungkook nervously. He don't know whether the other will be comfortable or not. No problem, Hyun. I can take the couch. I'll just return in the early morning, Jungkook said, understanding the situation. Oh, no, I am asking if you were comfortable sharing room with Taehyung for the night, Jin asked, and Jungkook's heart went boom boom. Jin always made everything easy for Jungkook, unknown to himself, and he is glad for that. Sure, I am okay, but what about Taehyung? He said, looking at Taehyung, who was looking at both of them. Come on, Jungkook, we'll have a night out together, Taehyung said, dragging Jungkook by his hand, who was stunned by hearing night out. Excuse me, mister, we need to sleep. At least, I need to sleep after all this, Jungkook spoke while letting Taehyung drag himself with him. No, first time you came to my house, we should play something, Taehyung said while climbing the stairs. Jin just sighed at Taehyung's antics, and he knows Jungkook is gonna suffer more. He just went to his room to sleep.